Donna Bauer, thank you for your time. How are things looking from where you are in terms of holding your own seat?
Oh, good evening. It's great to be with you. Certainly been a busy day out campaigning and an incredibly busy election campaign all round in the Carrum electorate. Look, the votes have just started rolling in. I haven't seen an update recently, but we've worked incredibly hard. As you mentioned, Carrum is a marginal seat and one of the most marginal for the coalition, so I'll certainly be watching with interest as well. But,
all right, well,
I believe we've run a very good campaign.
Okay, well, let me tell you what the results are. We're just going to bring them up now because in your seat, okay, we've now got 14% of the vote counted, and on the primary vote, your vote's down 2.5%. Labor's vote is up. Probably still early days, but it's a swing against you on the numbers we're seeing at the moment. Is that a surprise for you?
Well, as I mentioned, it's early on in the evening. A lot can change. Being one of the very most marginal seats, I'll be looking forward to seeing how we go with the postal vote applications and also the early voting. I've been at early voting centres pretty much from 7 a.m. until 6 p.m. every evening, and there's been thousands of people that have come through the early voting centres. So I believe they may not be counted until Monday. And if it is close, I will be, like I'm sure my opposition will be, watching with great interest.
Yeah, I think it's a good point. There are a lot of early votes that will be counted from Monday that could well decide some of the very close seats. Looking back over the campaign, are you happy with all aspects of it, the way it was run?
Certainly, I think there's, at a Victorian level, Premier Napthine has come out with some great policies. We have a plan where we put, as a coalition government, families at the heart of every decision. So I believe Victorians are much better off with the coalition government, and since 2010 we've had made great progress in the southeast for a lot of local seats down this way, including the seat of Carrum. People tell me, you know, they're really very happy with the investment we've made in the Frankston line with protective service officers. Our streets are safer. We have better hospitals. Our local hospitals, Frankston and Monash, for example, have great investments.
Carvelis on the panel. I'm just wondering, I mean, the Frankston line and the issues with transport were so dominant in the 2010 election and saw, I think, that the Baillieu government effectively win. Your government has actually increased services and really fixed a lot of the problems on that line, which, you know, you've just mentioned, and I think we'd have to all admit. Why is the electorate not giving you credit for that? I mean, given that was one of their chief concerns, what's your view that you've got on the ground about why they're not acknowledging the work that you've done on that?
Well, look, I think it's too early to tell. I can only give you my perspective as a Member of Parliament. And one thing that I do every week is actually catch the train, whether I have an appointment in Melbourne or I'm just even heading up to 2 or 3 stations up the Frankston rail line. I make it a part of my week to catch the train, to speak to commuters, and also get out and visit commuters in the mornings or evenings at the railway station. So people have been very welcoming of the fact that we have pledged to do a Melbourne Airport rail link. That means that you can get on with your suitcase at Bond Beach.
You're seeing a swing against you regardless of all that work. So I'm just wondering what it is. What are the issues that have come up, you think, that are working against you? Because clearly something is working against you.
Well, you know, you're saying that there is an early swing, but that's just that. It's an early swing. There's, you know, a lot of time left and a lot of votes to count. So I can only say that people say to me, in 2010, you used to use your timetable, have to rely on a train timetable because trains were every 20 minutes. They're now every 10 minutes. And we've introduced protective service officers, and punctuality's gone from 60% to in the 90s. So I hear a lot of people are really happy with the Frankston line and the service, the new Extrapolis trains, all of the improvements difference we're making.
Thank you very much, Donna Bauer, for joining us tonight, and good luck with the rest of the count this evening.